And we're back once again for your Prime Insights. This is where we say it's the battleground for ideas, where we share concerns and issues that have happened all throughout the week with you. And then we have our guests and studio audience to share their insights on all of the topical issues that came up during the week. And we're always excited to be bringing that to you here on the Joy Prime channel. My name is Blessed Sogah, and this show is very interactive. So what we do is that we open it up for those of you who are online, so you don't miss all of the action here in studio. So you can also be a part of the show by sending us your comments on all of the issues that we will be discussing for this morning. Shortly, I'll be telling you about my guests and panelists for the morning as we dissect some of the topical issues that came up during the week. But there's a new way I want to begin this show. Usually I don't start with a studio audience, but today I want to do that because we're focusing on concerns relating to pay. And when it comes to pay rise, labor unions are already on the neck of government asking for a pay rise. In fact, I've seen a story from TEU, the Tertiary Education Workers Union. They say that they would want as much as 50% in terms of pay rise, right? But government says even the ministers have not been paid yet. So if the ministers have not been paid yet, then you know that we are all in this together. That's what the Labour and Employment Minister says. But of course, the nurses say, and the teachers also say, that look, we've been working for months now, we're starting off, and yet we've not been paid. So what are their concerns? And how is government planning to deal with their issues? In fact, for the health sector, it's almost becoming a recurrent issue because most of them would always constantly raise concerns each time it comes to payments and postings as well. So all of these issues, we'll get to hear from them firsthand what their concerns are and what they would want government to do in terms of tackling the challenge. Then we'll move into the issues of illegal mining. Chairman Wontumi, just as the Attorney General has served notice, is now under prosecution, facing two separate charges. He's been slapped with some terms that could end him up in jail if he is found guilty. But of course, his lawyers have agreed to speak to us and explain to us what his position is with regard to all of the charges that government is leveling against Chairman Wontumi, or Bernard Entry Bosiako, who happens to be the chairperson of the New Patriotic Party in the Ashanti region. Yesterday, there was that viral video of him celebrating with Dr. Mahmoud Baumia when, of course, he picked number 3 for the balloting. We don't know if that's an indication that, well, he's a free man, but you never know. We'll get to hear from the lawyers and then explain all of their position to you, plus get government's perspective on the matters that we have before us. So just sit back, be a part of the show, and then if you're happy to be with us, then, of course, you should be sending in your comments as well. Okay, so my guests are getting in. I'll introduce them to you shortly. But let's hear from those who've been affected, the teachers and the nurses, so they can explain their issues to us. I want to go right into the audience because I see a gentleman with the microphone. Kindly introduce yourself and tell us why you've been affected as a result of this delayed payment issue.
All right, I'm the person of Eugene Zorano Chechofia, the national organizer for the university graduate teachers who have been unpaid for the past 10 months now. To set the ball rolling, my group were recruited in the month of November 8, 2024 by Government of Ghana. We were duly recruited through a process by the Ghana Education Service, which took several months, of which some of my colleagues were onboarded or were enrolled to start work in the month of December, and they started in January 2025. Now, after the change of government, we understand that the governance is continuity when there was these new directives from the Chief of Staff demanding that all those who have been recruited or given appointment after 8 December should be revoked, of which my group were recruited in the month of November 2024, which do not affect us. But Director Professor Davis, through his issuance of letter, revoked our appointment. We hit to the street, we hit to CSOs to come to our aid, and we were called back to go for validation registration and reinstatement, and that was done in the month of March. And then we were awaiting that once we've been cleared that all our documentations were genuine, we could then proceed and then gainfully be employed and receive our salaries subsequently as time goes on. We waited and waited and waited, weren't hearing anything. We did a series of picketing and demonstrations to no avail. And as we stand now, before then, Honorable Minister promised us on the floor of Parliament that we would be catered for in the media budget review. Since it was an oversight, then the main budget weren't captured. After the media budget review, we were yet still captured. Professor Davis made us aware in a meeting that we've been captured in the media budget. Just leverage the allocations to be done for us. Finally from director and then the sector minister, Honorable Haruna Idrisu, he said we have not been provided for by the finance minister, and that brought us to this far. We had to do a series of press conference to lay our grievances, and today we had to do a demonstration the 30th of September to let Ghanaians know, right to the Jubilee House, to the Independence Square, to the Ministry of Finance, to make our plea known. Government have assured us with promises that we feel that it is still not enough until actions are taken.
What assurances were you given? And would you say that that's enough?
So we had series of engagement and letters and assurances from them, even from the month of April till date. Even the last time we met with the finance minister, he said we should give him 30 days and we'll hear from him. But that is still not enough for us. We are saying that if they really want us to know that they have assurances for us, then that should be that we should be seeing our names on our PVs, which is our payment voucher, by the 17th of this month, October 2025. Then subsequently by 25th, we should receive our salaries, and we do not want to go beyond 25th of October because that is wealth enough for us.
And share with us the numbers. How many are you in terms of the numbers?
All right, so we comprised of two groups, which is those from the College of Education and then with those from the university. For the College of combining the two groups, we are over 6,000. But from with those in the university, we are over 2,675. And then the rest are from the colleges. So with the colleges, some have their staff IDs and are not being paid. Some do not have their staff IDs at all. And then some have received their staff IDs and salaries almost every bit of month. And this have brought us this far as far as our human rights and our livelihood are concerned.
Yeah, I see. So what I would also want to do now is to hear from your colleagues in the nursing field profession, I believe. I think one of you can just also give us a sense of what your challenge has been over the period.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Jeffrey Nate Upata. I am the General Secretary for the Greater Accra Regional Branch of the Coalition of Unpaid Nurses and Midwives, Ghana. So we share a similar fate with our colleagues from the teaching field. Our financial clearance was released on 17th of July 2024, and then the Ministry of Health, that's our employer, issued a notice that we should all access the recruitment portal for the processing of our recruitment. For the avoidance of doubt, nursing recruitment is done in batches. So the current batch that is facing the issue is the 2020 main batch. 2020 main batch means those who completed school, universities, and nursing training colleges in 2020, sat and passed their licensing exams, finished and did 1 year national service, where we completed in 2022. And then we waited for 2 to 3 years before we got posted. So after our clearance was issued, we accessed the portal. Our process takes quite a while. We do interviews as well. So the last person was interviewed around November 2024. And then after the interview, appointment letters were dished out. So for about the total number that accessed the portal and got posted was 13,500 out of the 15,200 persons that the ministry initially wanted to employ. That means the ministry actually didn't get the number they were expecting. So some of us began work in December 2024. Others also began work in 2025. The Ministry of Health work with agencies. That's the teaching hospitals, the Ghana Health Service, Christian Health Association Ghana, Ahmadiyya and Mental Health Authority. So some of the agencies were able to process their appointments. Some of the agencies were able to process their appointments quite on time. So appointment letters came out. As the personnel started work, they also received staff IDs, and then they were onboarded onto the payroll. But other agencies like the Mental Health Authority, the Ahmadiyya, and some Ghana Health Service facilities were not able to onboard their staff quite on time. So the ones that were onboarded, out of the 13,500, about 7,000 were onboarded and they are receiving salaries. And then remaining 6,500, 3,000 have been onboarded. And then 3,500 have not been onboarded. The 3,000 that have been onboarded are currently receiving pay slips, but with no evidence of salary payment. So every month, like myself, I receive a pay slip on the controller payroll system. I check and then there is no salary. You go to the bank, nothing is paid. And we contacted the employer, that's the Ministry of Health, and we were told that the reason why this is happening is because our financial clearance has expired. However, during the recruitment process, once you log into the portal with your index number and then your other details, and you try to use the same index number for another email account, you are told that you have already used the financial clearance. So we understand that once you have logged into the portal, you have used the financial clearance, and then there is no expiry of that financial clearance. Because if you understand, financial clearance is just something that allows you, that you have been catered for, so you can be able to access the portal to get recruited. And once that has been achieved, there is no need to say that a budget that has been allocated for you, and money that is already there has expired, if you have already taken a post.
So have you also put a number to your group now?
Yes, so currently those who are facing the issues, as I was trying to mention, we are 6,500. 3,000 are onboarded but are not receiving salaries. 3,500 have not been onboarded. Their HR managers are telling them that until the Ministry of Finance extends the clearance, they will not go ahead to issue the appointment letters. For most of them, the appointment letters are sitting somewhere in Accra. Just that they want an assurance and then also a letter from the Ministry of Finance so that they can issue the appointment letters and the staff IDs out to them. So currently, that's the issue we are facing. We've had several engagements with the ministry starting from May 2025. And then it has always been the same assurance. The Ministry of Finance will make sure that you are catered for. So we waited, and then budgets were read, about 2 budgets were read. And so we are assured, or we feel that we have been captured. Because if the minister was aware of our plight in February, and he has read 2 budgets, it means he knows us, and then he is aware we are working. Personally, I went to controller, I saw my portal, and I was told that I've been captured, I'm there. Minister is aware, minister will read the budget that will capture me. So I'm aware that as we stand, the Minister of Finance has captured me that I should receive my salary. However, it has not been happening. And then we took to the streets on 2nd October to register our displeasure. We petitioned the Minister of Finance and then our employer, the Minister of Health, the Venerable Meta Ankando, Honorable. We respect him so much and we love him. And we want to say that we know he is doing so much. However, we have lost 4 of our colleagues so far within this struggle.
Right.
One at Specialist Hospital at Winneba, one at Kwamfanoche, one at Whole Teaching Hospital, and another graduate from Nadarigu, who is part of our group. We are here to find the hospital. So these 4 people we've lost these 4 people.
You mean
they've died?
Really?
Yes, unfortunately. So we asked, when are you going to pay? Are we expected to see more deaths? Because most of the deaths we are attributing to the fact that they are not able to pay their medical bills. Because in most of the health facilities, there are no insurance that covers healthcare professionals. So these persons have lost their lives because they don't have the money to pay. So when is the minister or the employer going to heed to our call? When is the assurance going to turn into reality? That is what we are asking.
Okay, it's good that you're putting this out, and fortunately I have people who have insight into this whole sector. Dr. Thomas Anaba needs no introduction. He's MP for Garo. He's also the former director for REACH. Then Janet Nabla is chairperson of the People's National Party. Fortunately, I understand you're also a hospital administrator, so that makes it easier for us to have a fine conversation on this. Ivan Che is also a youth activist. He'll be joining us shortly. And then later we'll hear from the lawyers for Chairman Wontumi. Doc, it's good to see you. It's been a while. Ever since you went into Parliament, we've not been getting more of you on the telly, but it's good that you're coming to us this morning.
Thank you.
You've heard the accounts of the teachers and the nurses as well. How does it come to you, first of all?
Oh, thank you very much. Good morning to you, cherished viewers and listeners, and good morning to our team in the studio here and my colleague panelists.
Yeah.
I received this news. I've been receiving it for some time now, but let me first of all sympathize and share my condolences to the family of those who have lost their lives. Though I can't for sure put a stamp that is because of salary that caused their death, but it could be a contributing factor. And also sympathize with our young teachers and the nurses who have graduated and haven't gotten salaries yet, or haven't been employed, and some of them haven't gotten their salaries yet. Yes, it is not easy for anyone to go to school and finish, and then having hope that you get job, not to get job. And worst of all is that you get the job, you are working, and it takes months and months before you can get a salary. I experienced some in the early 2000s, and it wasn't comfortable, so I wouldn't wish anybody same. But let me say that, yes, I don't have much details about their contact with the two ministries, but what I know is that the Labour Minister 2 days ago at a forum we had, a summit we had in UGMC, promised that hopefully by the end of this month and hopefully by the end of the year, everything would be resolved. So I have hope and believe in what the Labour Minister says, and have to only tell our young men that some little patience and some little resilience.
Yeah, but how much time
yes.
should it take to address all this? Yes.
Yes, it is not how much time. We must contextualize this issue. Nobody would employ somebody and refuse to pay him. First, there must be money to pay him from productivity. Ghana, as we said today, we all know from Professor Isaac Bodi of UPSA, told us how much we are losing to corruption. $9 billion a year, dollars. Not cedis. I took that $9 billion last night to change it, to divide it into 70,000 workers. That's the health workers who are not employed. Yeah. Divided by 12. I got 21,000 Ghana cedis, dollars per person per month. That is how much corruption is taking this country. If all this money was in the coffers of the finance minister, I don't think Akufo-Addo would have blinked to give clearance for people to be taken and paid. He could have roped all the teachers who are walking about with a job, all the nurses, doctors, allied health professionals into the job. The reason why I'm contextualizing this is that we are playing a blame game when the real issue lies somewhere.
Yeah, but the job is all they need.
No,
I mean, if you're blaming someone else, they'll say you're checking responsibility right now. Yes,
they are Ghanaians. I'm a Ghanaian.
Yeah,
you are a Ghanaian.
Right.
We all want things to be well, but we all turn a blind eye to issues that are of more national interest. How come the whole GRA, from his report, from his lecture, is losing $3 billion through corruption? GRA is supposed to give us the money. What would Atu Forsen do, or what would Amin Anda do, or what would Ken Ofori-Atta do if you don't have that money sitting there to be transferred to the Minister of Health to put it into the payroll?
Dr. Thomas, you have to solve the problem. That's why your government.
That's why I'm coming. No, it's not my government. It's Ghana as a whole.
Right.
You see, we want to put the blame on this government. No, let's not do that. It's all governments, especially the previous government, because that report about the $9 billion.
Yes.
That is going to corruption.
It has nothing.
This government has nothing to do.
Yeah,
with
but
it.
were
the 18 billion Ayine Anyenini said the last time that was lost to corruption was not under this government. It's 2024. 18 billion could have paid all these people and given them bonuses even to go to Dubai for holidays.
So now what's the solution?
So my solution,
they are interested in the.
My solution is that we plug all the loopholes in this country and we should wage a serious war against corruption and misappropriation of funds, just like John Mahama said. Send people to Nsawam within no time.
Yeah.
A Chinese minister is just going to be hanged. A Chinese minister for just corruption. But we saw a minister here in this country who took money and went and bought vaccine that never existed. And he's walking about. He's walking about.
Anyway,
I am saying that it is the issue of money. And you don't also wait.
Yeah.
When you are just about to leave government, you have let people in 2021. You've not employed them. And when you know you have two months to leave government, then you give mass employment. Look, what politics is doing to us is hurting us.
Are you saying these people are a victim of that?
Yes. No, they know. How many of them are not in pain? How many of them are not in Tescon? And look at what happened to Wontumi when they arrested. Do you saw the queues and people demonstrating? That they must release him. Let them arrest a politician who has been corrupt. I'm not saying he is guilty until he's proved.
Dr. Naba, all of this is fine, but when this is settled and done and dusted, they'll still come back to you and say, when are you going to pay us? That's beautiful. That's the basic question.
So now I'm coming.
We'll face them.
The minister,
you give them 3 months.
Yes.
They come back. You give them more excuses. They're saying, well,
I'm not in the minister's books.
Yeah, obviously.
But I can tell you, I run a business. And I know when I increase salaries, I know when I take people to work. I must have money, projections of money to come in before I take people to work. The government of Ghana must have its projections that this is the money I can make, and use the money judiciously. Not to use the money for frivolous things that do not add value to the country, to job creation. Sinking how many millions?
You are in parliament. You can help these people out.
We're helping them.
How are you helping them?
That is why they are praising our minister. They are praising our minister because we're on him to make sure he gets the money from the finance minister.
So when will the money come, Dr. Adama?
I can't tell you when the money should come because I'm not the finance minister.
Right.
I'm not in the coffers. But I know some have been boarded and some have been paid, and definitely some will be paid. Once there's no money, you know the economic position of this country. Right. You know the finances of this country better than me because you are journalists. You dig a lot. You dig a lot, and you know what is there. If there is money, do you think a government would like to be looked bad before the public like we are doing now to the government? No. But I'm saying that this is not today's issue. This is probably a generational or issues in decades that has been happening that we have to find a solution to it. How do we pay? How do we pay workers? We pay workers when we have money in the coffers. How do we get money in the coffers? Revenue mobilization and judicious use of money. And if you want to look at whether we are getting enough revenue, you see the seepages are so much. If you want to analyze how we use our money, you see that we are misusing money too much to an extent that the Public Accounts Committee is overwhelmed with so much of misuse of money in the country. If all those money is 18 billion that has been misused and Parliament has the record.
Yeah, but that's in the past now. How about the little
now it's working. Now please. Now, point to me since we came in. Which corruption allegation have you seen? It means it's improving.
And is that people have been employed? Is that paying the bills?
No, definitely. We have to move the country from a junk economy to a better economy.
Janet,
it doesn't pay their bills.
Right.
But you see, I want us to be factual and contextual. Let's not only stand to talk against a government because they are part of the government. They voted the government for what? For a change, for a reset. And the government is telling them that he's going to do it. But if we don't stabilize the economy to a point and rush all the money to pay people, if it's your business, taking Ghana to be an entity, business entity, how will it be?
Great question.
I sympathize with them, frankly speaking. But the problem is not today's minister or today's president. The problem is a generational problem that we must all sit down and look at it and fix it.
A generational problem. Well, Ivan Chase just joining us. Ivan, good morning to you. Janet, you've heard Dr. Naba. So it's more about the economy. If we have more money, according to him, all my colleagues and brothers, the teachers and nurses would have been paid by now. It's because he believes the economy was mismanaged in the past.
Let me greet you, my co-panelists, and then
the studio
audience. I was just listening to him. It's true we sympathize with them, but why are we sympathizing? Why should you employ someone for 11 months without payments? Dr. Edward Mahama used to tell me something. He said when he was a student in Legon, he completed in August. In September, he had his salary.
His first pay.
They were not using computers. They were not using any technology, and they could do that. Today we are using technology, using all sort of things, and yet we cannot be able to pay people. Just let's put ourselves into their shoes. We who take salary at the end of the month, when you take the salary, how far? By the time you turn back, there's no money. And yet someone is working for 11 months without pay. And we are telling them, now we are giving them stories. There shouldn't be any
You feel it's stories? Is it not reality?
No,
it's not the reality, actually.
Well, I heard him speak about corruption. And the corruption, see where he took it. He said that the health minister, he has forgotten that before the health minister came, it was his ministers. We had the Atoforsin case, which was 56 million Ghana cedis. We had the Collins Dawuda case, which was $200 million. We have a Opuni's case, which was about $290 million. We talk about
all these cases
No. It never ended in court. It never ended in court.
The Opuni case, I covered a part of it. Was in court.
A nolly case has nothing to do with the court. The court established a prima facie case against these people, ready to take off. They even took off. Look, the wheels of justice, it grinds slowly. So you don't come to say that because they have been there for 8 months and so what, even if they are there for 20 years and so what, you give them a nolly prosequi for them to just go, and then you move that one aside and you shift yourself to the MPP who just completed. You have finished about how many years? 16 years. That one we should leave. Crime has no expiring date. There is no expiring date to crime. So you see, when he was talking, I thought maybe he was going to be patriotic. Because when you are going
you don't think he was?
No, he's not patriotic, he's doing politics.
Really?
And which is so bad. That's the reason why. He's part of the reason, he's part of the problem of Ghana. Because if we want to do empirical analysis of the problem of Ghana, it is the NPP, his political party, which
the
means...
NDC, you mean?
The NDC and the MPP, but they are the people who started it because they have ruled this country more than any other, more than the MPP. So if we are having problems in this country, you the one who have ruled more, we will bring you in and bring the other one who copied all your steps and has also messed up our ecoconomy.
So
we bring the two of
you these people then.
So he's talking about we misusing money and other things. Of course, if today you are dragging people that they what is it called? They are causing financial, not financial loss. If you are using things like oral is not a realistic thing. Look at the team members. These are people who had problems with the MPP. If you want
I'm concerned about getting cash for these people.
Just look at the budget that they read in Parliament. 297 million Ghana cedis for the Jubilee House. That money, where is he going to? You know, I've written a petition to Ioko that they should investigate Felix Ofosu-Kwakye's office for that money. These people could have been paid.
Budget,
you are talking about a budget. We had a whole Ministry of Information, that used 6 million Ghana cedis to run. 6 million Ghana cedis. And you just came and you want to use 78 million Ghana cedis to run, not a ministry, a department at the Jubilee House. 78 million Ghana cedis.
You feel that? So you feel we should use that money to...
And you know something? Instead? When we push him to tell us why he did that, he told us that, he has about 3 agencies under his ministry, under him. But the Information Ministry had 6 agencies under them. And they were using 6 million. What are you using the 78 million Ghana cedis for? These people could have been paid as a result of that. The whole Jubilee House, they budgeted 2.7 billion Ghana cedis for Jubilee House. When Nanado was there, he budgeted 324 million Ghana cedis. Where is this money? He's just telling me that we've not yet caught anybody. Of course, Felix Ofosu-Kwakye, I've sent him to Ioko. I don't know whether you don't know. Ioko wrote back to me that it is not under their jurisdiction.
So you feel we should cut a bit of that budget and use that to
pay this? I am telling you, do you know that President Mahama is appointing deputy ambassadors? What do we need deputy ambassadors for? They are mismanaging our resources. The NDC government, the reason why these people are not paid is as a result of mismanagement. The two of them, MPP and NDC, I don't know what we will do. If I were to have power, I will gather all of them and put them in one car and send them to a no man's land. And the car will just go wherever it's going to go.
Interesting.
But I'm telling you, because all what we are now saying is because of mismanagement of our resources.
So we want these people paid.
We want them paid. So let's look at the budget. Let's go back to the Jubilee House and cut off that budget. When we cut off the budget from Jubilee House, cut off the deputy ambassadorial positions he's giving to people, what do we need it for? We will pay these people and employ more. Apart from that, GTEC has come out with a lot of people who are holding fake doctorate degrees and they are collecting salary. Look, I wrote to GTEC telling GTEC that even that one is small. If you go into people who are holding fake master's degrees, and they are working, collecting huge sums of money, when we go into it, we will eliminate all of them and bring the genuine people to come and work. Because I am telling you, if we allow GTEC to go into our various ministries to check, you will see there will be a bomb blast.
Okay, before I come to Ivan, I understand that teachers, even the mainstream teachers, they are asking for a pay rise as well. So I'm just wondering how government will be able to handle all of this. Kina Lee is with CCT. He's joining us via Zoom. Kin, I just want to hear you briefly so we can make progress. He's joining us via Zoom. What's the concern of your group and how much pay rise are you looking for? Tewu is asking for 50%.
Thank you very much, and a lot of greetings to all your listeners and all the teachers out there. The name of my union, we've changed it to Pre-Tertiary Teachers Association of Ghana, PRETAC.
Okay. Right.
So now we are PRETAC. You can see PRETAC for short.
All right.
Two things in one. We are about negotiating our base pay. The challenge we have always had is that in Ghana, you could see economic conditions going down. So currently we are seeing inflation going below 10%. We are having a single digit for the first time in some years. And then we see the cedi-dollar ratio stabilizing. Unfortunately, the basic things the teacher or the Ghanaian employee uses his salary to do isn't going down. So when you go to the market, the cost of foodstuffs, basically, the cost of electricity, the cost of rent, the cost of water. This is what we call the utility inflation or the daily inflation. These things are not decreasing. Currently, we have ECG asking for about 200% increase. We have Ghana Water asking for increase. And then foodstuffs are going up. So though inflation might be coming down, the cedi-dollar rate might be stable. What basically we use our money to do isn't going down. And that makes it difficult for us to accept a lower percentage. This year, we were giving 10%. The president himself came to the meeting and told us that economic conditions are a bit difficult. The economy has been mismanaged. In fact, he called Ghana a crime scene and pleaded with Labour to accept 10% and told us that the next negotiations that we are going to do, they will have put things in place and they will give us a better percentage. If that is anything to go by, it means that we shouldn't be looking at anything below a double of what was given the last time. Now, of the teachers that have not been paid, it is quite an unfortunate situation. You see, Ghana is a country that have laws, but the laws only works most of the time against the vulnerable. We have the 1992 Constitution that we use in this country, our supreme law. And then we have the Labour Act. Both the Labour Act of 2003 and the 1992 Constitution makes it clear that no employee should work and at the end of the week, if the person receives wages, or at the end of the month, if the person receives salaries, and the person should not be paid. If that happens, it is criminal. So if a private sector person employs people and a month, 2, 3, the employees have not been paid, government goes in. Sometimes these employers are even arrested They are brought before court. Sometimes they are jailed. Sometimes even if they pay their salaries and then they fail to pay their pensions, like tier 1 and tier 2, government hold them before the court, they are prosecuted and they are put in jail. We remember the case of Opesika Agudi. Unfortunately, the same government can employ people, and for several months, sometimes years, the people will not be paid. But these people are rendering service to this nation. It is sometimes unthinkable. You really do not understand why somebody working, a person needs to be paid about between 3,000 to 4,000 Ghana cedis a month, and a country like Ghana isn't finding resources to pay them, but we always get money to do so many other things. When you think about it, you won't understand. Why should a teacher, for that matter, leave College of Education, posted to serve his country for well over 12 months, and the person have not been paid? But we expect such a teacher to wake up in the morning, dress up, go to the classroom, go stand there and go and teach the future leaders of this country. What kind of better job do we expect from such a person? And what kind of future leaders do we want? The issue of there's no money is neither here nor there. In fact, I have all the financial clearance that were issued last year for the employment of teachers. Then the new government comes and tells us that when the financial clearance was issued, at the time that the teachers were employed, the financial clearance have expired. What kind of language is that? Is government not a continuum? So if the previous government issued the financial clearance, and then the financial clearance has expired, and a new government have come, the fact that the previous government issued the financial clearance, it means we have some kind of fiscal space. Although that fiscal space has expired and we are in a new financial year, the people have been employed. So quickly you make a space and renew the financial clearance and get the people paid. Initially, when this new government came, what they even did was that they issued a directive sacking all of them, sacking all those teachers, people that has been employed and deployed to the rural communities of this country. Some of them cross rivers. Some of them are teaching in war-torn areas in this country. There was a teacher that was crossing the Volta Lake in Volta Region to go and teach, and he died. He has not been paid. He died. I have all those. Even Joy even made that news for us all to hear. The first thing they did was to issue a fiat that all those people has been sacked. The unions will have to come in and fight for another directive to be issued under the auspices of the Minister for Education that therefore be reinstated, but they should go through some processes again for them to be issued with a new appointment letters and all that. When government comes to power, you can target people that are politically employed. Me, if a new government comes to power and he sacks an IGP, I care less, because a president cannot leave and allow somebody he didn't appoint to lead security services that's around him. I don't have a problem. But a teacher, an innocent teacher who is apolitical and has been appointed and recruited and posted to a certain village somewhere, where one person is handling class 1 to 6, and you say that because he was employed, the previous government have sacked the person. People talk, you say you are free to state the person, then you are not paying them. You are not paying them. How much at all?
Yeah, I see.
Why we pay this to ourselves as a country?
Yeah. It's so interesting that you're raising all of this, and the nurses are also in the mix. And Ivan, you have some connection and affinity with the nurses as well because of your background. It's sad, isn't it? But all we need is to get them paid. That's my concern right now, because for these people, whatever argument you make, whatever point you make, they still want to have their cash. That in the end, that's what they are looking for.
Exactly, that is the point. And let me say good morning to your viewers and my co-panelists and everyone around. I think it's quite disappointing to be dabbling in this kind of conversation. And my worry is that as a country, we are not growing. We seem to be progressing at a very lightning speed, because where you expect that whenever we come at a crossroad, we take corrective measures and able to, move on in a direction that will speed up our growth as a country. Because this particular conversation that we've been having, this is not the first time. Just like Dr. Anaba said, some sort of a generational problem. The worker or the student who just graduated and has been employed is looking for nothing but for his salary. And there is no justification, just like we are indicating, that can absolve anybody from any blame. All that they know is that they are working and they deserve to be paid. Unfortunately, they are caught up in a vicious cycle of a certain dirty politicking in this particular country. And that is the reason why we are here. The question is that whatever it is, government is supposed to provide employment opportunities for these young people. It doesn't matter where they belong across the political divide, who employ them or who employ them. But the reality of the situation we have at hand is that, you see, these people have become sort of a bargaining chip in our politics. For instance, if you look at the way and manner we employ people, it's not as if we don't have the capacity, and it's not as if we don't have the means to employ. But very often we are interested in the politics aspect of it. So and whenever we are addressing these challenges, we go narrow, we fixate on emotion, we become very emotional, interfacing with politics, and we ignore the relevant and the critical fact of these matters that we are supposed to deal with. You see, there was a time ago that Honorable Osafo made an announcement that the previous government, that was the NDC government, had, employed people at the time they were exiting, and for that matter, the government at the time didn't have much financial allocation to be able to take care of these people. An announcement was made, and these people, according to the report, were sacked. So my question is that if that is the reality, whether there was a challenge or not, after admitting publicly, the question is that in the spirit of good governance, why would another person come and do the same thing? And at the end of the day, these innocent young people are victims, you understand? So in the spirit of good governance, you don't come and repeat the same thing. But for me, I will not blame anybody, because you see, in politics, always people want to capitalize on some of these things just for political capital, whatever. But the reality is that, have we sat down and realized that there is a challenge, a real problem that has to be addressed? For me, I think that the framework of this Presidential Transition Act is very weak, because it does not provide the necessary safeguard for good governance within that particular period.
Do you first of all feel that there's enough justification that, well, the certificate that was issued for their employment has expired?
No, there is no justification. They have worked.
Okay.
And there is nothing that can be done about it. So the mere fact that they have worked, they deserve to be paid. You understand? But we need to, do away with emotions, politics, and tackle the root cause, because this is a sort of a generational lesson that we've been talking about.
And very often, and apologies to the teachers and the nurses.
Yes.
It's almost as though
exactly.
For the other professions, you don't really care about that a lot.
They are being used as a bargaining chip in this.
When you say bargaining chip,
because we have a lot of nursing trainees coming out every year, a lot of teachers coming up. Their population is heavy, so they are the very people you can use to play this kind of chess game. You understand? But in our approach, we become very narrow in pursuing solutions. My problem is that if you look at the Transition Act, that there are a lot of, structurally it is very weak. It's unable to provide that safeguard that is needed for good governance. That is why within that period.
And you're parking, and I'm just using that word loosely, you're parking the payroll before I take over.
Yes.
When I come, I would want to run an audit.
Exactly.
And that's what Dr. Thomas Anaba was saying, that you won't just take over and begin to pay, because you also want to watch the book.
Exactly, and that because there are no financial sort of commitment, it becomes very difficult. You see, like I'm saying, any of these things do not justify what they are going through, because they are innocent victims who have worked. You understand? But the reality is that, let us tackle the problem. The problem is that during the transition period, that is all this shitty stuff happens. It happened when NDC was in power, and it's happening today. But whenever we are tackling the problem, we jump over it. There is a structural problem. For me, I think we need to create some sort of a freeze period within that particular frame, so that we avoid this unnecessary creation of problems where innocent people become victims. You understand? But in all the conversation going around, nobody has even mentioned the Transition Act. But that is actually the problem. You understand? So I think we need to review the Transition Act. If we can create a freeze period that from election day to the time the person takes over, maybe within that period, it's a short period of time. If nothing happens, this country, nothing will happen. You understand? There are certain critical areas we might consider. But if you don't do, because in our part of the world, we don't do politics with diligence. We don't exercise positive discretion. We are very dangerous and very vicious people, always want to create challenge for the other guy. It happens when NDC was exited. It's happening when MPP was exiting today. Right. So it's not going to stop. In the next 4 years, we will come back here and be talking about the same problem. So I think in order to avoid all this unnecessary recrimination, counter-accusation, those stuff, we need to look at the Transition Act, amend it, and if possible, create a freeze period, or if possible, the new government government and the existing government at any point in time will have to collaborate if such appointment has to be made. If we don't do some of these things, trust me, we will be repeating this conversation over and over and over, and nothing will happen, because for the politicians sitting somewhere, these young guys are bargaining chip. You understand? Because he might, during elections, I might want to push a lot of them, give them maybe fake appointment letter and stuff, just for political expediency. They will vote for me after elections. We've had instances where police salary were increased after election. They realized that it was some sort of a fake kind of increment. You understand? So for the politician, always these people are bargaining chip.
And some in the audience disagree with you. I'll come to Kamal shortly. But Dr. Anaba, you just wanted to add something briefly before I come to Kamal.
I think my co-panelist mentioned Ofosu Kwache. I don't really know much about that story. And that budget...
She says it's too much money.
That budget was brought to Parliament. Parliament saw it.
Both NDC.
Both NDC and NPP.
And they worked out too.
Was the e-levy passed by NDC and NPP or not?
No, it was NDC.
So, my friend, it's Parliament. Parliament is Parliament. Irrespective of who was there. So, budget was passed and it was approved. The Ghanaians voted for that Parliament. Whatever we do, it is Ghanaians that voted for it.
So even when you are misusing our resources,
we are not misusing. Please let me talk.
I'll give you the time.
We are not misusing anything. Look, you see, as he was saying, that transition period, we should give a deadline when you can sign something or not. Please, I employ people, and I know when to employ. I don't wait until a CEO is going to be changed, then I start employing to leave for the next CEO. Whichever government does that, it is wrong. You know the single spine salary structure? It was signed on the 6th of December 20 by Kufuor. 2007. When Kufuor was leaving power, a day before, and left a big burden onto the next government. It means that what Ivan just said, the two parties, we have to understand that the governance system must be transitioned very nicely.
That apply to the private sector?
Traps.
I was just going to use you as an example because you have a private facility. You don't have that. You never have that challenge where your people will just mass up and say you haven't paid us. But when it comes to government, the clearance has been given, and yet the money doesn't go out.
You see, it is because people in Ghana, institutions do not work. Just like Obama told us, let's allow institutions to work. People have worked and they have not paid. And the law states that if you work and you are not paid, what do? You take the employer to a particular place to hold the employer responsible. The court should work. The labor commission should work. That if you employ me and after some number of months you don't pay me, I take you to the labor commission. Like they will take me, a private person, to a labor commission. Take government to the labor commission. If you can't, you go to a high court, to appeal court. If that is established one day, and the minister is asked, next time no one will do it. And they do this simply because if you know you have, like you're saying, if you know you have so many people that you can't employ, sometimes even we private, sometimes we do it. The foreigners, they do it. They employ you on contract. Tomorrow they renew it on 6 months. They renew it contract because they see you are many. And I've used the statistics of nurses and teachers in this country. So far, we have 93,000 teachers waiting for employment. And we have 70-something thousand health workers waiting for employment.
That's a lot.
Can you imagine the number? And already, if you look at the amount that is going to be involved, it's not easy for any government. Definitely, the employer would have to play a way in making sure that I don't derail the economic growth and sustain the economy. Make sure we reduce wastage, like my sister was saying. We reduce wastage and make sure we accrue more revenue into the coffers so that we can pay people.
I see.
Other than that, look, we'll be talking here. I'm not saying that I don't sympathize with them. I'm only speaking facts. Me, I like to speak on facts. We have to do something to get them their money.
In fact, that brings to mind the government policy on, sending some of our health and medics and also, I believe, teachers out of the country. Janet, I'll come to you, so I'll take your thoughts on that. But let's go into the audience. Kamal, you also wanted to...
First, I want to correct an impression Ivan created. This is my joy online. Nurses can now get jobs. This is 21st March 2017. This was a recruitment exercise done by the previous NDC government. When the MPP government came, they only suspended it for a month, went through it, audited it, and then in March, the minister gave this thing a directive that they should be recruited. So for Ivan to say that MPP did same,
no, I was making a specific reference to a press conference done by Osafo Mafo, and that is a fact.
But I'm speaking to fact.
It doesn't matter.
He created a job for his son.
He did a press conference. That is a fact.
Aside his press conference, the minister in charge did otherwise. He employed them. And then Honorable also sits and then he says we should say government of Ghana. And he ends up playing the NDC card again. When your government was living in, what's the name? In 2016, they increased national service allowances. The former president Nanado came and paid. He never complained. You see, I've been to the training college. You understand? Then when you complete training college, you don't go through this ordeal. I don't know if they've been told. You don't go. You don't do even national service. Automatically, the government employs you and then pays you. It took the NDC government to come and revise some of these policies. That now you have to go and do national service. It was all employees that they were looking for to stagger the process. But Honorable, just like the Minister of Labor, is saying that employing all 144,000 outstanding teachers and nurses will consume 47% revenues. And I'm surprised. A government that promised 24-hour economy, one job, 3 shifts, is now struggling to employ 144,000. This clearly shows that the 24-hour economy is not anything you people can fulfill. Because if you have agreed that, look at the number of people, should the government employ them, it's going to affect the government fiscal budget. What it means is that your 24-hour, one job, 3 shifts. Because by now, these people should have been under.
Oh, you feel the nurses should be a priority for the 24-hour?
By now, the government should have rather been looking for more nurses to join. But now the government is even struggling to employ those who are in the system. But if one job will give you 3 shifts, these people should have easily been consumed by the NDC government. No, Honorable.
Okay, I'll come back to them. So just like.
No, are you running away from your 24-hour economy? The underpinning line of your
so I can
of the 24-hour is that one job should have 3 people. Now, even this one batch of the people, you are unable to employ them, and you are crying that your budget, the government budget, cannot contain it. Just be truthful to them. There are young people who have worked for 10 months; they have to be paid. There was financial clearance. You introduced politics into the whole thing, and that is why you suspended their employment and trying to introduce another recruitment where I foresee to see how you can employ people you perceive to be your party people.
Anyway, that's your point. Then thank you, Kamal. Yes, let's hear some experiences here. Yes, please go ahead.
Right.
Introduce yourself.
Thank you. My name is Eric Dafoe. I'm from College of Education.
Okay.
I'm a teacher. Before I ask my question, I want to clarify this. What Ivan said something that I want to clarify. Those of us, I am a College of Education graduate. I was employed, or I assumed duty on 10th September 2024. So it was never a transition. So that transition something, we should take it out. My colleagues from the university, they assumed duty on, they got their appointment letters in November.
Okay.
So why then was that a transition period? No. And
so this was even the previous year.
Yes,
the previous
before even election. Before election, I've worked for 13 months without even staff ID.
How do you survive?
Only God and friends, and then family.
You have the law at your disposal.
And then we are most of us are surviving on loans. My brother here owes about 21,000 loan. I owe up more than 10,000. I know colleagues who are owing more than 15,000, 11,000 on loans.
Okay, so you're expecting that if government pays, then you can use that.
Yes.
If the pay never comes.
Yes, but the pay is not coming. The pay is not coming. Honorable said something that misuse of funds. This government used more than 30 million Ghana cedis to purchase sanitary pads for students. Meanwhile, the teacher in the classroom haven't been paid. He also mentioned, I just don't get it. You recently before the WASI, they paid practical fees, no stress fees. Meanwhile, the teacher in the classroom haven't been paid, and Please, we are not interested in the politics. We want our money. We have worked and we have to be paid. If someone has been alleged for corruption, that is for them. We are not interested in that. Thank you.
Okay. I believe, you also having that same challenge. Yes.
Thank you. I'm Simon Kofi Nande, also from the College of Education. I am very sad this morning. I've been having heard from my honorable minister and the way politics is being smuggled into our education field. Sometimes they think everything that they do in this manner affects only the teacher, but most of the times when they get a platform to speak, they make the children their priority. And to me, I see that to be a fallacy because the children are never their priority. If it is the case, they would have resolved our issues and then that would descend to the children. Because everything that they are doing to us is affecting the children as well. Yes, because we go to the classroom, we pretend to be fine. And so if we have to give out 100%, we divide it to 50%. And because you do not see our tears, people think we don't cry. We cry.
So you go to the classroom smiling when indeed you
We pretend. In some of our picketing, when I went back to school, the children saw me say, I saw you with the police. They were pushing you. As I sit here, I have promised my students, those who sat for the BEC, the recent BEC, I promised them that anybody who makes 1 in my subject, I'll give that person 500 cedis. As I sit here, they are still on my necks. Demand, yes, this is the change, how we want to motivate our kids to learn. But I'm not getting the money to give them.
But if you owe people, you've taken loans. Why is it promising?
No, you see, they wrote the BC in June.
Oh, okay.
So at the time, yes, I made that promise around March. Okay. So I thought by the
Is that not the same thing government is doing? They've given you the jobs and they are promising you they'll give you the money later on.
So I thought the money would come before the results would be released. Here I sit today. So we are going through a lot.
Yeah.
As I sit here, rent, I am living under the roof of a colleague because my rent expired in August.
Yeah.
My colleagues, that of his will expire this ending. And so when he is evicted,
then you will also be affected.
I don't know where we are going to stay again.
Okay.
So we are actually going through a lot. And so the politics aspect should be taken off this whole matter.
Okay, let's hear from the nurses as well. I don't know if we can hear from the lady first, and then I'll come back to you in front. I understand Kinali also wants to make an intervention, then I'll come back to my panelists. Yes, please go ahead. But were you the one in the viral video? Oh, okay, right. Yeah.
Okay, good morning. Please, I'm Ivy. I'm a nurse, general nurse. With my opinion and what I don't really know
what you're facing. Yes, as nurses. Yes.
Okay, so with what I can say right now is, as a nurse, I think we deserve to be motivated. Yes, because me working for 10 months and I'm in my 11th month now without even 1 cedi in my account, it's actually costing a lot. Before, when we started this, we were recruited. We were so happy that we are going to provide care to the sick. And at the hospital, imagine a patient looking up, like expecting me to provide a very good care to her. At that moment, I'm hungry. I'm owing rent. I don't even have money to buy data. My mother is looking up to me. I have kid sister as well. And a patient is lying there, auntie nurse, I need a bedpan. Yeah. Empty my urine. And I'm feeling dizzy too. Without food, nothing to even motivate me. The same Ghanaians will be like, this nurse doesn't care about the patient. So I think these are some of the reasons why most of the nurses, I'm also part, because I no longer feel the love I have for the profession. I used to have that love, like, even when you collapse, in a car, I can just put my phone somewhere and then intervene. You will be okay. But now, even when you are dying, I just bypass because I'm even thinking about my problems. My mom needs money for her health. She is old enough. She has suffered. So please, we are begging. My rent will even end in November, 1st November. I'm already owing previous rent. I have to renew. I pay 9,000 every year because my rent is 750 a month. Aside that one, some of us have to even buy electricity, this prepaid, our bills and co. We beg the government.
Right. Okay.
They should put aside the politics and then attend to us so that we can provide good nursing care to the sick out there.
Right.
So
Great point there. And of course, I'll just come back to my panelists. Let me go to Kinali. Okay, some of you behind would want to make some quick comments. Yes.
Good morning.
Be brief about it so I can get two more.
Good morning.
Kinali, yes.
It's very unfair for people to work for about 10 months without receiving salaries. And the MP here is doing politics with it. Now, for about 10 months, nurses and teachers are suffering to get their salaries. But the government is trying to recruit people into the Ghana Armed Forces. And I'm wondering how they're going to pay them. Because
it's graduated, so it will be over a period.
It will be over a period.
The Deputy Minister.
So, and also, they made an announcement that we have almost about 2 million unemployed youth in this country. Unfortunately, the youth are now getting employment. And you are finding it difficult to pay them. You promised them 24-hour economy. So I think it's very unfair for them to treat these people this way. It's very, very, very unfair.
All right, great. Yes, there's a gentleman behind. I'll take you, get Kinali, and then I'll come back to my panel so we can take a break. I'll come to you.
All right, thank you for the opportunity. The Honorable is, how do I put it, respectfully playing a Sergio Ramos game with us. We don't want that situation. I don't watch
football, so for those who don't follow football, explain that to us.
He's trying to defend from all angles.
I see.
He's trying to defend from all angles, which we are not really pleased with it. Because we've gone to school for 4 years.
Why the attack on Sergio Ramos, by the way?
That's the tag. That's right, the tag. Yes. So if you are trying to defend something, that you just call it Sergio Ramos.
I see.
Right now, we went to school for 4 years. We didn't receive any salary. We didn't receive any allowance. I went to UCC. Okay. No sort of motivation. Somebody also went to nursing training, teacher training, 3 years. The person completed and then did national service for a year. And then only for the person to sit home about 3-4 years, and then you employ us in 2024. Then we assume duty 2025 January. Some even did in December last year. Then you come and tell us, our clearance is expired. I don't understand what they mean by clearance expiration. Because if you say a clearance is expired, government is a continuous process. So we don't care about that. But I don't know how come Honorable Minister, Honorable MP is sounding very, very, very political, which I tell you, we are not really
well, he would explain his position a bit more to you. But let me get Kinali, and then I come back to my panel so we can take our first break. Kinali, let's hear you. You were itching to just bring in an intervention quickly.
Thank you very much. First of all, let me say that the MP for Garu should just know that Labour has been very lenient to this government thus far. In fact, the teachers and the nurses that have not been paid, they have besieged the offices of their unions several times. We have been able to hold the forts and their frustrations and all that because we have the intrinsic belief that the government have just taken office and we need to give them room to be able to dot the I's and cross the T's, then cross the T's and got their things right so that things will move. It is totally out of place for somebody to speak like Mr. Ivan, as if the teachers and the nurses that were recruited was as a result of political recruitment. I don't know his understanding in the recruitment process in Ghana. The colleges, the teachers from the colleges of education, they leave school and then they come and do national service. They complete the national service in August every year. Then when they finish the national service in August every year, they are employed the following month, which is September. And that is the rule for everybody, including the NDC when they were in office. And in the Ghana Education Service, the academic year begins in September. So it is in September that the recruitment are done to fill all vacancies, including new schools, teachers that have gone on retirement, teachers that have died, teachers that have left the job, teachers that have traveled outside this country. In fact, every year, the number of teachers that leave GES alone is getting to about 20,000. Ghana Education Service alone. How can somebody employed in September be because of what do we call it, politics? And then the MP was there saying that they should try the law. Oh, please, you should know better. The teacher who have not been paid and is struggling to get his 3,000 or 4,000 Ghana cedis a month, it is that money that he should go and use to hire a lawyer and take the government to court for employing him and not paying him. Why are we doing this to our country? Why are we doing this to our country? I said earlier on that I have the financial clearance here. On 10th May 2024, financial clearance was given to employ 16,500 teachers. And these 16,500 teachers is the exact number of people that completed colleges of education. Remember that the colleges of education, they are given a quota. The number of students every college of education in this country can employ depend on the number that the Ministry of Education will give them. So 16,500 colleges of education graduates were given clearance, exactly the number, on 10th May 2024. And the recruitment was done in September. How does that become what Ivan and the MP is saying? And then another 1,500 clearance was given on the same 10th May for non-teaching staff. So in all, 18,000. Then, in 2023, this is even a much bigger one. In 2023, financial clearance was given for 46,000 people to be recruited into the Ghana Education Service. 46,000. That was 26 July. Let me get this date right. 1st November 2023. 46,000.
With the figures,
hold on, please. Okay. If you are getting financial clearance to recruit 46,000 people, there is no way you can finish recruiting 46,000 people in a matter of a week or 2 or 3 or 4 months, because it will go through a process. You will screen the people will do this, will do this, will do that. The simple thing we are saying here is that the unions are sending a strong warning to the states and to government in general. If they don't pay these teachers and the nurses for them to have money to go and chop Christmas, government should not blame anybody of what will happen in November and December. And I'm saying these things on authority. I'm saying this on authority. Government should not blame anybody. What happens, and in this country, if teachers of pre-tertiary, CCT, pre-tac, NAT, and NAGRAT, and then the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association, if we come together and we lay down our tools, the country will be in shambles. And they know. They should stop trying our patience.
All right.
And a program like this, nobody should come and sit here and do politics. The MP there, how many months now he went to Parliament? Has he been receiving his allowances? Has he been receiving his monthly salaries? What is due him? Has he been getting it?
The minister has clarified that. He says, no one has been settled yet.
No, if no one has been settled, they move around, they get money. We were here when we were told that MPs were being given, is it 100,000 or 150,000 or 200,000 for them to be able to use the money to fuel their cars and go to their constituencies and inspect ongoing projects.
I think it was 120,000.
Okay. All right, Kin, thank you.
To inspect ongoing projects. You see, Blessed, you see, the country that we are living in, the politician just doesn't care.
Okay.
Well, the politician just doesn't care. And the laws of this country, the politician doesn't care. Look, even our tier 2, what do you call it, pension is not even paid. And government doesn't care. The former government accumulated about 6 months allowances. This government have come to accumulate about 4 months allowance arrears, and they don't care.
Okay, Ken,
when you speak, they will give you rhetorics.
For the sake of time,
and I'm telling them that the unions have given them enough honeymoon. and they should be careful.
Okay.
If they don't pay the teachers, from now to 31st December, we will not rest. They should pay the teachers,
okay,
and they should pay the nurses. How can a nurse who is hungry go and give a proper injection to a patient?
I'm being prompted. Okay, so King, just hold on for me. I'm being prompted to take a break, but for context, I mean, I have to be fair to the panelists. Let me hear from them, and then we'll have time for all of your concerns. Maybe I should start off with Janet, and I'll come to Doc and Ivan. Yes.
Just as you were saying, we want them to be paid, and that is what we are all emphasizing on. They have to be paid. He's saying that every year, 20,000 teachers usually vacate their post or something. You know, our monitoring and evaluation system in the country is very weak, because someone will leave the teaching service and still take salary for more than 10 years.
Yeah, he was just pointing to the Public Accounts Committee.
Yes, so,
that came up. A dead person, I believe, was paid for almost a year.
And all these things, and all these things, and all these situations are happening because of monitoring and evaluation. If you are the minister of this in education, you are not supposed to come and be on top, sitting down and be talking on top. You are supposed to work. Our ministers are not working. Government appointees, they take the position, and the first thing they are looking for is how to be able to generate something in the ministry to do to get like 10% or something cut for themselves.
But are we assuming that politicians don't? I mean, they don't have any conscience at all.
The truth be told, if they were to be working, if they were to be working, this country will not be the way it is, because. You see, they have picked you as a minister. You should just even come up with a press conference. Let the media come out, tell the media what you are going to do. Ministry of Education, this is what I am going to do. Give them your job directives or your vision. Your vision, what you are going to do, and then allow the journalists to be marking you whilst you go. Have you seen any of them doing that? How can you just tell somebody, go and take care of the health ministry? We don't know what he's doing. We don't know what he's supposed to do. He's just walking around, he'll go into this hospital. No. Tell us what you are doing so that we can sit down and let the journalists ask you questions. Things that you were not even thinking about. Call some of the nurses and other people, let them come and ask you questions. You said this, what about this one? Tell them that I want all of you to come so that at the end of the day, I will have a map that I will be able to follow.
Okay.
Is that what is happening? No.
I'm being prompted to take a break, but let me hear from Ivan and Doc. Doc, a lot of pressure on you now.
It's normal. It's normal. Once you are a politician, I just joined politics, active politics 9 months ago.
Yes.
I've always been at the side of coalition of CSOs and then the rest, and I've always fought for doctors, nurses, and then the rest.
Now you're feeling the heat as a politician.
Now I'm feeling the heat, and I have to take it up and then see how we can all help to change the narrative and ensure that what we are experiencing, we don't experience it. I sympathize with you. That one, yes. But look, sanitary pads, let's leave that one aside. We have social interventions. Please. And let me come. 24-hour economy cannot give you results in 1 year. Please. If you are genuine to yourself. Me, I like facts. I research. No. 24-hour economy cannot give any genuine results, positive results in just 1 year. Besides that, teachers cannot work 24 hours. Are you going to send the children to school in the night? Please, even the double track, we say we should cancel it. Is that not it? And you want teachers to work 24 hours? Please. No, he's saying that you are saying that you were claiming that 24-hour economy should absorb the teachers. Are they going to teach our children in the night? No, it's not going to happen. Even universities, you don't agree to go to classes after some hours. So please, let's leave that. Let's be pure. The nurses, yes. Let me tell you some statistics about nurses. In Ghana, we have so many nurses that some of us are thinking that we must design a strategy to change the number of nurses we train. I'm being factual.
You want us to do the quota system?
Yes, we must change the structure and way we train nurses. We must allocate it to district to understand districts that are in shortfall, because we have hit the internationally recommended figure of 1 nurse is to 1,000. We have 1.5 nurse is to 1,000. It means we've hit the international recommendation for nurses in the country. And we have more nurses even who are not yet employed just a moment.
Yeah, let him land. Yes.
I'm not saying you shouldn't be paid. We are talking about strategy. We have to see how we can get those nurses to places that are deprived. so that they go and work. And we have to get nurses to go to the nursing training colleges from communities that people don't accept posting and be bonded. And two, once you have a working group that is more than the number the country deserves now, because the number of hospitals we have now, if you want to add all these nurses to it, to be honest, as somebody who has done policy analysis, some of them will be redundant. That is one point I'm coming at. And on top of it, we are opening more nursing training colleges when the disease pattern in this country needs specialized nurses. So what we are doing, we have to change it. And we're even paying nurses in school, then when they come out, they have no salary.
There's so much pressure.
We have a lot of things to do to arrive at the right place.
Okay, well, we'll come back to this. Let me just plead with my technical team. Ivan,
I think to your panel who spoke, I think overbearing emotions and threats in this particular manner doesn't work. If you are going to lead people, you should know how to speak, especially on matters like this. If you look at the appointment letter that has been issued, if you check it, all of them are telling you that they owe them 10 months, 9 months. It tells you the appointment letter, it doesn't matter when it was issued, all was pinned in January, which falls within the transition period. These are the facts. And again, he said teachers are being posted within a particular period. Hold on. I'm saying about 90% of the people, not an isolated case. Let me make a point. Again. No. It's not just you. Okay. I'm saying that majority of the people.
Okay, you know what,
majority of the people. You understand? So we should be looking at practical solutions. You understand?
Well,
we are talking we are talking about a conversation being devoid of politics. You see, when you're seeking this whole thing, the conversation is laced with a bit of politics. As young people, you understand? So I think we should be looking at practical solutions, how we can address some of these things, rather than the kind of conversation being made here. You understand?
When I brought practical solutions, did you take it?
Oh, okay. Yes, You know what? Okay, I'll come back to all of you. You know what? Let's go for a short break. It appears our second topic, we may have to relegate it to the background. When we get back, then I'll take some more of your comments. Please stay with us here on Prime Insight. We'll be right back.
Offer assistance. Be willing to lend a helping hand to someone in need, whether it's carrying heavy bags or offering to help with a task. This can make a significant difference in someone's life.
Good Conduct, Great Life is brought to you by
Indomie. Tastes great.
Kivo 4-in-1 Gary Mix. It gets everything inside. Champion taste.
Good evening and welcome to the greatest show on earth. This is a people's game. They will be bubbling about this one for weeks and months to come. Let's go!
It's on SuperSport all season long. Pay your subscription today. Dial *759#. Available on DSTV and GoTV.
Your world, your prosperity, your bold future.
If the people you're spending the most of your time with are not part of your value creation, forget your tools and forget your skills. You're not going anywhere.
This October, why don't you unlock the transformative power of culture and language? Get ready, it's the bold new normal. Join Lucy Quist with her renowned lineup of change makers at this year's The Bold New Normal Conference 2025, 8 a.m. on October 25th at the Enclave Gardens, East Legon, Ghana. Theme, the transformative power of culture and language, rethinking socialization for prosperity. Tickets available now, www.egotickets.com. Search The Bold New Normal or dial *713*33*45#. The Bold New Normal Conference 2025.
Kwame and his uncle are almost here.
Wait a minute. This one too, your friend Kwame.
Wait, Kwame.
As in the same Kwame again?
Yes, mommy.
I'm the second coming. Into all this tension just to reintroduce that broke boy from Kaswa.
Why would you deceive the family like this again?
Now I understand the whole delay. Trotro from Kaswa dear. Why wouldn't he be late? Or being late, of course.
You go give me the luckiest. Go from Georgia be luckiest. From not the block, she be luckiest. Yeah, you go give me luckiest. No matter why you're luckiest. Everybody go give me that luckiest.
That's Kwame!
Send your God down for boom. If you put it so would the coming of the Son of Man be.
Hey!
Is that his car?
Everywhere.
Dial star 712 #. Choose your ticket. Enter your lucky number. Follow the prompts and let destiny handle the rest.
This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
October welcomes you to the EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair 2025 at the Accra International Conference Center from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. each day. It's time to turn your home ownership dreams into a lived reality. Whether you're breaking ground, building up, or simply finishing your space, EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair is designed with you in mind. The EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair is powered by EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank, and brought to you by Drive EVGH, Drive into a Sustainable Future, and supported by Virtual Security Africa, security for all, safety and home solutions. You think of a door? We have it. Superlock Technologies Limited. You deserve the best. DPS Pipes, connecting you to life. Elegant Homes and General Construction Limited, where quality meets value. Gold Key Properties, transforming the landscape. Ayuda, Ghana's #1 services app. Bako, services Bebre. Special Gardens, memorable living. DBS Industries Limited. We truly are your roof experts. Door masters, the best indoors. Lash Fortune Limited, unleashing luxury with perfection, one space at a time. LandlordAfrica.com, bringing the real estate industry to your doorstep. The Builders Market. Bathroom, get it right. Right House Energy Limited. Let's build smarter energy together. Masters in solar installation. Syntex Tank. Air strong, air tough. Automation Ghana. West Africa's choice for smart solution. Interplast. We make sure water reaches you. Even space. U-Bent Security. Doors, protecting lives and properties. Clifton Homes. Beautiful homes, wise investment. Western Villas, where dreams meet reality. MTN, everywhere you go. EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair 2025. Dream it, own it, live it.
Welcome to the EcoBank Joy Business SME Fair here at the Good Park Accra Mall. Listen, this year it's bigger, better, and it's packed with so many benefits. You wouldn't want to miss it for anything.
Whether you're a small business, a startup, or just passionate about the future of your business, this is your stage.
At the EcoBank Joy Business SME Fair to sell and, of course, network with over 150 other businesses.
Your business gets maximum exposure from social media bars to trusted traditional media presenters. Everyone talking about you.
For you out there, you don't want to miss it. You can come with the whole family. You can have so much fun. Of course, the kids can have fun on the playground, and there are lots of side attractions as well. Make that call and sign up for the EcoBank Joy Business SME Fair. Call 0500-238383. That's 0500-238383. 238383 and join us here at the Good Park for the EcoBank Joy Business SME Fair.
The EcoBank Joy Business SME Fair is powered by Joy Prime and sponsored by EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Syntax Tank, are you strong? Are you tough?
And MTN Business. Welcome to a new world of business. Media partners: Joy FM, Hits FM, Joy News, and myjoyonline.com.
Okay, welcome back. So here's the resolution. It appears we can't do the lawyers of Chairman Wontumi now because there's so much interest in this teacher and nurse trainee issue. So let's take a few more comments. Ivan was just making a point. But let me take you here from Ivan, then we go into the audience briefly. Yes, you wanted to make a quick intervention. Yes, Elia. Let's hear from Ivan then. Okay, so Ivan, you were just landing on the point.
So the point I'm making is that, you see, in this whole conversation, there are no winners, there are no losers. We need to find a lasting solution because this is not the first time this thing is happening. We have the institutions and the legal frameworks appear a bit weaker, and we live in a country where we don't do politics with absolute conviction. We always want to skew institutions, plans, everything to pander to what kind of political influences or the interests that we have. We need to change the ground rules moving forward and make institutions quite effective. Because aside this particular issue at hand, are you aware that the normal recruitment, when one is recruited to work for government, it will take about 6 months before, on the normal circumstance, you get your salary. It doesn't make sense.
You mean this applies to everybody?
Yes. Normal recruitment process. Aside this particular thing, when people
are you sure about that?
Oh, it takes time. That's why some of us have been working for government for some time. When you complete school, it takes some time before you get your salary. I'm saying that we need to move past that. Madam just said, those times we were using papers and pens, but now we have computers, whatever. We should be able to speed up the process. The very moment you employ the person, within that month, government should be able to process the salary because the person is working and the salary must come. You understand? Because that is where the corruption starts. Because if you put somebody to an institution where there is money and it's being starved for like 6 months, I will find a way to survive. That is why people begin to cut corners on stuff. So the corruption that has eaten so deep into the fabric of our society, within even various institutions, some of these things could explain why we are where we are. You understand? So I think let us do away with the dirty political aspect of it and look at the factual realities in front of us, do away with emotions and look for a lasting solution. Because like I said, this is not the first time we're having this conversation. I have been on platform about 8 years ago. We had this same conversation and I proposed that within this whole thing is within a particular period, whether it was in September or within, why would the last part of a government, why should you pile people up and push them into the system? The nurses have been home for years. The nurses, 2021, 2022, 2023. It was just the end of this year that about 13,000 of them were pushed into the system. We cannot do this. But at the end of the day, the nurse working, you cannot blame the person because for her, she's working. She's what expected of her, she's doing it. That is why I'm saying they are being used as a bargaining chip in this very dirty politicking. We need to change the ground rules and make sure that these young people who have sacrificed, just imagine somebody working in Accra. You are living somewhere, Lashibi, and you are supposed to go to Kolebu for a work. Even lorry fare alone is not easy. So somebody who is not being paid, how is that person going to suffer? These are the factual realities. I think we need to just build on the problems, eliminate
but Kinali says you're not being fair when you say the problem is the transition.
No. It is part of it. That is why I said within that particular period, that is where we create this pool of, pushing. That becomes a problem because Asafo Mafo made a declaration when he said such things have happened under them, and today we're having the same. That is why the chief of staff issued certain statements, some individuals, whatever. You heard that, and then it was changed later. it tells you that that is a problem. And these people are in the system. Do you have financial, kind of strength to be able to accommodate them? What are your priorities as a country? We live in a country where our priorities are something different. It's far away from the most important and the pressing problem facing society. You understand? So for me, I think we need to look at our law because, like I said, the framework are very weak. It does not provide the necessary safeguard because it is there to provide safeguard for good governance and for continuity. But that is not what you're saying. People capitalize on the weaknesses within that particular period to create a whole lot of problems. And at the end of the day, innocent people become victims. You understand? That is why I was insisting that majority of the people who are caught up in this particular thing, most of them have 10 months salary arrears. It's 10 months, 10 months, 10 months. Few of them may have extra months because they were recruited somewhere in September. But the reality is that that is the challenge.
That's why I want us to do this. Let's bring in the policy on sending our nurses out because Dr. Anaba, you're just pointing out, and let's be brief about it so we can go into the audience. You're talking about the data, that we've gone past the WHO standards, the ratio. That's why government says, well, they're planning to send some of our nurses abroad. But that's also not going to be helpful to our system. Are you saying we don't need the brains here to help develop our system?
I'm just giving you the statistics to show that Ghana, at least, we've met the minimum requirement. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't add more. But if we are going to add more, that inequity in the distribution should be worked at.
So sending them out, is that the most?
No. Sending them out. Every country that produces a lot of professionals send people out. Even the US send people out, even though they still employ. Cuba was sending doctors and nurses to Ghana. If we think that there's a place we can do some diplomatic exchange of workers and then the rest to bring about some unity among us and support other countries in their need, yes, we can do it because the Cuban government helped us with doctors here when we had no doctors in Ghana. That kept the Ghana Health Service and the Ministry of Health working. I'm not saying that we shouldn't send people out. We can send people out. But what I'm saying is that the number of nurses that we are churning out vis-a-vis the number of hospitals that we have, if we check the ratio that we should have, at least we've met it. And we are now upgrading to higher quality levels. So sometimes if government doesn't have money, he'll look at it. Are we okay or we are not okay? If we are okay, we can hold on. So those people will be sitting at home. So why not let us now upgrade the level of the nurses we have to a higher level, because the disease pattern in the country is changing. It's not more infectious diseases alone. It's now chronic, non-transmissible diseases. And that one needs specialized nurses. So we need to upgrade our nursing training colleges to a higher level. Not the general ones that we see, so that we have more specialized nurses. Even the countries requesting for the nurses from us are not requesting the general nurses. They are requesting for the specialized nurses.
So it's not everyone that will go.
And very few general nurses. If they were requesting for only general nurses, it was easy. We just pack those who don't have work. They go and get the better salary and be happy. But this is the case that we also need very specialized nurses in the country. That does not mean that we can't send some out. There are countries who have some engineers who have loaned them to other countries to go and contribute in diplomatic relationship and the rest. That is fine. So to me, yes, the nurses are in the house without work for several years. I pray government, the economy improves. As a politician, it's my prayer the economy improves so that in the next budget we'll see here that, they are going to take 30-something thousand nurses, 40-something thousand teachers with clearance for them to get their salaries and then the rest. But to talk about technology, once we have IT and then the rest, somebody working today must get money tomorrow, we have to audit all those things. You know, saw what happened in national service. Technology was paying ghosts who were not there, and those who were really working were not getting the money here. So let's also look at technology very well and see how technology can be used to defraud the state, because a lot of millions were defrauded from the state using the same technology that could get names, that could get people who are not working in the system, and those who were working were not in the system. People were doing their national service without salary. You people were working months without salary. Meanwhile, people who were not doing national service and never existed, we're getting salary. So let's be careful with technology.
Janet wanted to come in. I got briefly, then I'll give you the time.
I think the doctor said we have exceeded in the number of trainees. Yes, in terms of trainee, but if you go to the various hospitals,
we don't have.
A lot of them have left. You understand? So within the health sector space, there is still a vacuum that has to be filled. The thing is, we have a lot. We have produced a lot. Some are sitting home, and I'm a nurse, and I can tell you for a fact that about 90% of my colleagues have left this country. They are all in the UK.
Really?
And they are always on the phone. When are you coming? because of these bad working conditions and stuff. So if you are not careful, everybody will leave. You understand? That should also bring us to a point where we must begin to incentivize some of these young people to stay. Because at the end of the day, the difference isn't about anything, it's about money. If people are paid properly, they are paid well, I think nurses will stay and render good and effective services for our own sake. But if you are a politician, you think that only I have money, when it comes critical, I can travel out. Sometimes you cannot even pick your passport and get to the airport. You understand? So we need to provide care wherever necessary at what point in time so that we all save ourselves.
Janet, you were just coming through with the...
He kept on hammering on the inefficiencies we have at our work site, that some people will give appointment to some people, the people are no longer there, but still they will be paying those people.
Yes.
These things, we should find a way of not just punishing the immediate person, but the one who is supposed to supervise the immediate person. So this one, they have nothing. Yeah, these people have nothing to do with what he's saying, because number one, we pay people. The National Service Secretariat, we have a CEO, we have other people that we are paying. They are taking Ghana's money. Why were we paying them? To make sure that they do the needful. Look. These new people who are in, you remember they said that they brought ghost names and things. I want you to go and check the number of national service persons they picked for 2025 and 2024. There's no difference. You see, I have made a research and I saw that our number of national service persons who were on the payroll, we had 6,000 or something like that. But when President Kufuor was going, all of a sudden the number jumped. And then the NDC people came in. I was expecting that they would do an audit and then they would come up with figures. But no, it wasn't done. It wasn't done. So because it wasn't done, when they were also going out, they also dropped the figure. Do you understand what I'm saying? Right. And now the recent national service persons, the NDC people, they are saying that there were ghost names. But when you check, they only removed 1,000 ghost names out of the list. But when you look at what they are penalizing the people,
how do you know that?
Because I checked the two. I checked the 2,000.
But it will not be the same. This will be new.
The 2024. I checked the 2024 and 2025 and realized that they took only 1,000 people off.
But they are gone. They are done with the service. Okay, right.
In 2024,
you're saying there's 1,000 difference in the number.
If 2024 we were having 10,000 and they said that the 10,000 they have ghosted about 3,000 names, then all of it.
But it could mean that this year you have more graduates.
That is what you are saying. So I was
that's what I'm saying. That's what you are also saying.
No. So when you look at the dynamics, when you look at the dynamics, the number was just the same until we got to 2025 that they removed only 1,000 living.
But these are,
let's say it was 10,000. No, they said
these are different sets.
They said no. Listen, 10,000 recruitment. They said 10,000. They removed 1,000. He said now it's 19,000.
But my point is you can't say for a fact.
But we can also check the various training colleges and other places to see the number of people that they usually deploy into the system. Because both MPP and NDC are using this to siphon money from the defense. I don't want any of them to do like they are.
For the sake of time, let's go back into the audience. I didn't give the opportunity to those behind. I'll come back to you. Let's go behind because there are some hands there, and then I'll come back to the front row. Those of you who wanted to have your first take. Yes, go ahead.
Yes, I'm Churchill from the University of Ghana.
Go ahead. Yes, no, just go ahead.
Yes, I think we should halt this partisan rigmarole of how we are trying to politicize the whole conversation. We should approach the issue with a little bit selflessness and sensitivity. These institutions you are talking about here are people that handle human beings, teach in the classrooms, and give people healthcare. We should just narrow the conversation to a more pragmatic level. Let's get these people paid. Essentially, let's get them paid. And this whole conversation covering the whole thing is not helping at all. And I'm just pleading with.
But if you have to pay them, to be mindful, if you have to pay them, you need the cash to pay them. So if you're not in a good economic position, how then do you pay them? That's the question.
Let's acknowledge the fact that we are not in a good economic position. Does he also go down to say they don't need to be paid?
They have to be paid.
They have to be paid.
And
These are innocent people.
No one has denied that.
And so the whole conversation isn't helping. Essentially, it's not helping. We're making the whole thing a rigmarole. It's not really helping. When you sit back,
do you feel we've not paid too much attention to the nurses and teachers over the years?
Do you understand?
Essentially, yes, because it's a continuous ritual, which must not be even done. These institutions, I feel they are too sensitive to be encountering all these challenges year on year on. They are too sensitive of an institution, for people that serve the public to be happening, for these things to be happening to them all the time.
Right.
I'm not disregarding or discrediting the work of other institutions, but these people are people teaching students in the class.
I agree.
Taking care of people in the hospitals. And so please, this whole rigmarole must come to a reasonable halt.
Okay, all right. Let's. Some of your colleagues also have a point to make. Yes, be snappy about it so we can take as much as.
I'm Jamila Bagia. Please, with the next, I'm also a health student.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Really, working at the hospital is a whole lot of stress. When you come to work, you would be busy till when you are closing.
Lift the microphone.
You'll be busy the whole day till the time you are closing. Involve a lot of walking up and down and all that. So you really need energy to work. And I really sympathize with these nurses on what they are going through.
Are you worried that when you also go out of school, then you join the queue? Because it appears the numbers are really high.
And when we look at the nurse to population ratio, we have hit the target. And the question is, does the country stand in a good state now to pay these nurses? That is the question we should be asking. If no, what should be done?
People are stealing the money.
Let us look up for exportation. We could export these nurses to also make a living somewhere. And I will encourage everybody to also pray for their country. I think
we need the prayers too. That one I agree.
Blessing, you said
30 seconds.
You said we need the cash to pay. Yes, we know that. But I feel like there's a misplaced priority in this system.
You feel you have a great conviction that we have the money in this country.
We have, because each and every day you wake up, YEA is employing. Each and every day you wake up, these people, we are recruiting soldiers now. No stress fees or something. The policy, no fees stress.
Yes. For the
they were paid. So how come people who have gone to school for years and then they are working and you say you can't pay them? There's money. There's money. I don't know how come they are trying to.
But are you saying those policies, those interventions?
I'm not saying they are bad policies. It's a very laudable thing that they introduced. But if somebody who have gone through the system, paid fees for 4 years, has done national service, and you are not paying that person, but somebody who is now going to training, or let's say going to school, if that person you have not even started paying school fees, and you are giving the person his or her money back. Oh, come on.
I'll come to you. Okay. Yes, let's take your point. Okay, there's a gentleman behind. I'll come to you. Yes.
Okay, sure. Please, good morning. I'm Wako Maxwell. Yeah. With this whole issue about the nurses and the teachers, I'm really, really sad about how we are trying to play a political game about this whole thing. Yeah, this whole thing. Teachers and nurses are the true hero of this country. They're the same people who teach us. For you to become an MP, for you to become a doctor, definitely there was a teacher. So they are the true hero of this country. I'm really sad about how we are trying to play political games about that. And the government keeps on saying we will try and process everything. I used to ask myself, even if their salary were to be a visa process, by now it should have been paid. That's what I usually tell myself. Even if it's supposed to be a visa process, by now it should have been paid. So the teachers are not demanding anything than their salary, and the government must work towards that.
Thank you. Yes, let's take yours.
Thank you very much. So I've had my hand in the air for quite some time.
For some time, yes, I know.
I remember during my national service days, the president then said that we can recover or revive the economy, but we can't revive lost lives. Now, these nurses and teachers who are essential care workers, it looks like the whole argument is saying that we would rather recover or revive the economy, but lose these lives. I might say I'm displeased with a doctor Dr. Anaba was once the medical officer or director at Rich Hospital. So assuming during his term, a doctor came to him that, Doc, I have not been paid for 10 years. Would Doc be telling for 10 months? Would Doc be saying that the Ghana has lost 9 billion to corruption? So let's go and deal with that. When you are done, then we come and listen to you. But because what the first comment he made was to the solution was we have a gap of 9 billion lost to corruption. So that means that in his post, that's what he was going to tell his doctor. I think that's a bit unfair.
But are you not mindful of that you need the money to pay?
Yeah, so I want to now recruitment. I want to also disclaim some facts made by Mr. Ivan. Recruitment of nurses and teachers. Let me talk about nurses specifically. Is done according to batches. Batches is according to the year you completed and when you passed your licensing exams.
But he's aware of that, because he just told you that
are from 2020 main batch. Now, when we were doing our national services in 2021 to 2022, the 2019 batch, the year they finished school, the year they finished their national service, that is in 2022, they were posted. That very year, they were posted. Now, the receipt batch were posted in 2023. That's the 2019 receipt batch. We also posted in 2019. 2023. And then the 2020 batch, we were the next batch to be recruited. And we also recruited in 2024. So there is no kind of fake appointment letters and all that. The recruitment are done in batches. And every year, nurses have been recruited. It's true, there are backlogs. However, it must be noted that the Ministry of Health Ghana has written to World Health Organization and puts Ghana on the red list of shortage of healthcare workers, especially nurses and doctors. So when we sit here and say that we have a large number of nurses who are home and then we have exceeded our number, however, Ghana is still on the WHO red list that we cannot take our nurses and midwives out of the country.
So he's disputing that.
That is not a fact.
So please give me a document that points to that fact.
That is not a fact. Be factual.
I want to also conclude.
You diverted into politics.
I want to conclude. Just land briefly in 10 seconds because of time.
I want to say that indeed there are bottlenecks in the salary payments. But where I work, people got their salaries in two months. In 2 months. So that it is normal that workers should get their salaries in 10 months. It's not true. It's never true.
We don't have time. So this is what we do. We have just about 10 minutes to go. We can't, lose sight of the illegal mining issue. So let's use the last 10 to talk about that. Let me go to Ajinkese, and you should start that conversation for me because one of your own in your fold, your political party is being prosecuted. So maybe you want to touch on that briefly so that we go. Be fast about it so I can go to the panel.
Good morning, everyone. So I would like to talk about when you talk about Galamsey, everyone is referring to Chairman Wontumi, which is very bad. In this country, we are here, and Honorable Joanna Jan Kujo came on telly to tell Ghanaians that she started Galamsey with a family. That was when she was 8 years.
Are you sure about that?
Yes.
Mining.
No, to the, I'm coming.
You would have to be fair to her because she's watching. She would obviously watch that.
I'm coming. Let me land. She said she wasn't having the license. She wasn't having.
Okay, so let him land and then I'll come.
Wasn't having the licenses when the party MPP came to power. So that was in 2016, 2017. So at that time, what are you doing? We are in this country, and the gold board said they have generated 6 billion for the country, which they are taking those money from the small scales mining. In this country, as the president, if you can stop Galamsey in this country, the first thing he's supposed to do is to close the gold board. He has to close that board to make sure that they have to make sure that he has to close the gold board because those places are where they buy.
How does that deal with the case?
Because we have been hearing from a lot of people. Myself, I went to illegal mining sites to check, and I asked people, and they told me that even the securities, the security goes around to take money. They take money from the illegal miners, so they don't arrest them.
Yes,
Really?
a security personnel will just go on the site and won't arrest. He won't arrest the people.
Are you sure about this?
Yes, yes. When you go to Osino and all those areas, you will see them doing in their homes and all that, which is very bad.
Right.
And see, let's be real when it comes to Galamsey. They are being unfair with Chairman Wontumi. We are in this country and a lot of people are doing Galamsey and all that. But why do you have to only attack Chairman Wontumi?
You feel he's being attacked?
Yes, I feel he's been attacked because from what I heard, someone was saying that some NDC big men, when MPP was in power, they were trying to harass them and all that. So we want to use that opportunity.
We're running out of time. Come out. Let me take yours and go back. So hand the microphone to come out. Be brief about it because I need to have my guest comment on that before.
Blessed, it's beginning to seem as if Ghana's Galamsey problem is Wontumi. So if the NDC government prosecutes Wontumi, what becomes of it? Has Galamsey
but if you mine illegally, I'm not saying that's what he's done, but that's what the AG is telling.
This is Honorable Joanna Kujo. She say reportedly owned 600 mining concessions worth almost $120 billion.
But how is that illegal concession?
So one person is owing 600 mining concessions. Is this real? So we shouldn't make it.
But Wontumi was on radio telling us that he has gold, isn't it?
I'm not here holding brief for Chairman Wontumi. But is Wontumi the only person involved in small-scale mining? Is that what the NDC government wants Ghanaians to believe? Because if you now put this across and you prosecute, the matter is in court. But granted that maybe it turns out otherwise, and then would that solve Ghana's Galamsey problem? We know just within this space of time you've been in government, some of your MMDCs are being fingered in, some of your MPs are fingered, some of your national executives are fingered in. In fact, Erastus Asari Donko, your own journalist, is saying that Galamsey has become worse. The word he used there is worse, so they should admit it that it is worse under them.
Let me take 30 seconds.
Yeah, okay. It seems this Chairman Wontumi issue, the government is trying to use Chairman Wontumi as a scapegoat. Yeah. There are many campaigns. People are standing trials. I ask myself, Chairman Wontumi is a Ghanaian, but he's standing trial here in Ghana. Meanwhile, Chinese and other people who are the campaigns are also being deported. The cost of when Minister said it would take much cost to take care of them in prison, but let's look at the cost to buy chemicals to treat our water bodies. Can't just that same one be?
Are you saying we shouldn't prosecute Chairman?
No, I said we should prosecute him, but there are campaigns who are getting deported. Like the Chinese and other people are getting deported. Why can't we jail them here?
Okay, all right.
Why can't we jail them here?
Great point there. We need to go. So let me give the final thought to all of you on this, Chairman.
Yeah, Blessed. As a country, I don't know where we are heading towards because when we started this conversation, we're dealing with teachers and nurses, but they appear to be more politicians than even the politicians themselves because this particular Galamsey issue has become like a cancer that is staring at us. And as young people, I think we should endear our interest at addressing the critical...
Do you agree that the selectivity?
It's not about selectivity. You see, Wontumi was accused of having gotten involved in Galamsey at the time President Akufo-Addo was president, when Kwaku Baako and others brought the issue up. The president went to Catholic Bishop Conference somewhere in Koforidua, stood in front of the Catholic bishops and announced to the whole world, without having done any investigation, both preliminary or extra form of investigation, and announced to the whole world that Wontumi wasn't guilty of anything. If some measures had been taken at the time, maybe today we wouldn't be here. Maybe the last time I came here, I told you the best approach to resolving this Galamsey thing is going radical and establishing the conventional red lines in the sand and tell people that there are consequences for actions. You understand? Yes, Wontumi is the first person to be dealt with, but I think that we need to go for the Frimpong Boateng report because there are a lot of people sitting in that particular report. It shouldn't be Wontumi alone, you understand? Because if you look at the level of distraction that has happened in this country, Wontumi alone couldn't have. There are a lot of people, I don't care where they belong to, whether NDC or MPP, we need to prosecute them just to establish that particular base.
Dr. Anaba, yes, you're concluding.
As a doctor, I'm saddened about Galamsey and its effect on Ghanaians, especially children and our future cancer incidents, because in 10 years' time, mercury and arsenic would cause a lot of cancers in this country to worsen our non-communicable diseases. Anybody who is accused, who is alleged to be involved in Galamsey should be dealt with without mercy.
Right.
If it is Wontumi, he should be dealt. If it's my father, he should be dealt with. If it is your brother, he should be dealt with. Whether Wontumi is the first person or the last person, Wontumi should be dealt with. Once there's evidence that he was in Galamsey, he should be dealt with, irrespective of his political position. Let's stop that politics. I thought you were teachers.
All right.
We are having
not everyone.
see what they are doing.
My goodness. There are some politicians.
See what you guys are doing. Let me finish.
Let her finish.
And you can give it.
I'm sorry. Let
me finish so that you can deal with it. So look, this Galamsey.
It's okay. Let's give the final thoughts to Janet.
This situation is becoming more serious because this is something that is going to make sure that at the end of the day, none of us will be alive.
All right.
Because when they destroy our water bodies, where are we going to get water to drink?
Right.
So the president who is not interested in the fight, because if he's interested, he would have put a ban or a state of emergency. Now the power lies in the hands of the president to save all of us.
All right.
So whether we are safe or not, it is in the head of President Mahama.
Yeah, all right. And thank you to Janet Nabla from the PNP, to Dr. Thomas Anaba from Parliament, MP for Garo, and also Ivan Cheye, youth activist, and of course to Kina Lee of the TAG. Thank you all for spending time with me, and also to you, my studio audience. We'll do this again, same time next week. My name is Blessed Sogah. We can connect on social media on X at Blessed Sogah. We'll see you again. It's a wrap from us. Enjoy the rest of the day. Thanks.